What's good, YouTube fans? Right, filming your brand new video. Week 14 thoughts and predictions. Let's get to it. The first game is the Rams versus Raiders. The Rams end up winning by 1 point. They were down by 13 with 5 minutes left to go in the game. But Baker Mayfield, with 2 days of practice, knowing like 4 plays into the offense, drives down, gets a touchdown. They get the ball back, 3 and out, goes down. They get another touchdown with like 3 seconds left in the game, bro, and they ended it. They end up getting the extra point and winning by 1. I mean, it was crazy. But enough of that game. Let's get to my main game of the week, the Eagles versus Giants. The Eagles absolutely slaughtered the Giants. I mean, it was not a game at all, ever. They were absolutely dominant on both sides of the field. I mean, the offense, running and receiving, I mean, like passing was insane. They passed in the first half, basically. We're like, okay, you guys want to stop the run, we'll pass the ball. Then what happens in the second half? They're like, okay, we got to stop them from passing because they're doing too good. So they ran the ball all over them. I mean, it was not a game that the Giants had no shot. The Eagles absolutely dominated them. The Eagles right now are the best team in the league, and you can't change my mind because the way they win games, they're just too good. Their rushing and their passing is just that elite right now. And the defense makes enough plays that they need to. I mean, yeah, every once in a while they get a drive that they get scored on, but you can't hold every team to zero. Like it's gonna be some bad drives, but they've been very good too. Their defensive line is absolutely spectacular. Their corners are being really good. The only problem right now is the safeties are hurt right now, but once they get Gardner Johnson back, they should be back in pretty good shape. Like they are elite right now. And the Giants, like I said, bro, they're only going to win 7 games. And I literally every week I get closer and closer to being right. I don't know how, because I'm going to be honest. A couple weeks ago, I thought they were going to win it. But once they lost to the Lions, yep, I'm going to be right. They're winning 7 games. I'm going to stick to it, bro. Until they win 8. Like I said, bro, they're winning 7. That brings us to the next game, which was the Cowboys-Texans. We're going to keep it in the division. The Cowboys ended up winning. Barely won at the end. The Texans had the lead with 23-20, and the Cowboys ended up getting a rushing touchdown to take the lead with like less than a minute left. Texans had no timeouts. They couldn't drive down a score because, I mean, we figured that. But, I mean, listen, if the Cowboys are that good, how do you barely win that? Because that's what you've been saying about the Eagles all year. Oh, they barely beat this crappy team. How did they barely beat the crappy Texans? Just let me know that. That's all I want to know. The next game is the Bills versus Jets. The Bills ended up winning that 20-12. The Jets are just slowly going downhill and downhill. I mean, I don't even know what you do at this point. They're so bad. The Jets are just awful. I mean, that game, for the most part, was not a fun watch. It was 0-0 for the longest. The Bills have been struggling heavily. I don't know what's going on with them, but it's been rough. And the Jets, I don't know what you do with your quarterback situation now because Mike White's not the guy. I said that last week. He still isn't. I mean, Joe Flacco's not going to help you win. And then Zach Wilson is also terrible. So, like, pick your poison, I guess. Then the next game is the Ravens-Steelers. I really didn't see much of this game at all, but I believe Lamar did not play. So it was Huntley who played at quarterback, and they ended up winning, beating the Steelers. The Steelers are a really bad team. I saw Trubisky end up getting in the game. I never got to see if it was because Pickett got hurt or if they just pulled him. But man, the Steelers are bad. And I really don't see why they don't go after a quarterback next year, depending on their draft picks and depending on like free agents. Because Pickett's not the guy. He's not that good. Trubisky's not good. It's like, I mean, their offense is also awful. Their offense coordinator is a terrible offensive coordinator. Like, he's so bad. Terrible calls, terrible plays, designs. Like, it's bad. The next game is the Lions-Vikings. The Lions actually kind of killed them a little bit. It's 34-23. The Vikings really never had a shot to win. The Lions kind of seemed to be on control most of the game. Like, there was never a time where you thought they're going to blow this lead. Like, they kind of had it. They had it set up. So, look, I know I make fun of them. I call them the Gritty Lions. They are the Gritty Lions. I love the Gritty Lions. They actually can get a playoff spot now. Washington and the Giants are both slowly going down. And even Seattle also isn't playing that great. There's no reason the Lions can't sneak into the 7th seed. And the Vikings, I don't know what they're doing. I think they just like losing now. Kirk 1 o'clock Cousins was not so 1 o'clock this week. I mean, he played terrible. So I don't know what they're going to do because, I mean, there's no shot to get the 1 seed now. It's either Dallas or Philly. And I know it's 90% chance it's going to be Philly. But it's going to be one of those teams. Minnesota has no shot to get the 1 seed. I guarantee it. And then the next game is the Bengals-Browns. The Bengals won 23-10. The Browns had their number for a little bit, but the Bengals, they're hot now. Like I said last week, they are playing fantastic. They are hot. They're going to win now. That's their only plan to do is win. So I'm not surprised that they won that game. Deshaun Watson looks terrible. He looks like he missed a year and a half or almost 2 years of football. Like, you could tell. Still probably touching some women, maybe some men. I don't know, bro. I don't know which way he swings. You know how it go. But, you know, the Bengals are just that team. They're that good. And I think they make the AFC Championship game, but I'm still sticking with the Ravens because I picked them in the beginning of the year, and I'm not going to jump off that ship. Then the last game is the Jags-Titans, which the Titans were winning at one point, but like it was like 14 to something, 14 to 7 maybe. And then the Jags end up just started going crazy on them. I think the Titans ended up getting a little garbage time score, which got them 22, but like they started blowing them out. I mean, Doug Peterson got his guys rolling, I guess. Obviously, they're still not going to do anything because like their record's really bad. But like, hey, that's a crazy win. And the Titans, they are looking rough. I mean, are they about to go downhill too? I mean, they're going to win that division regardless because the Colts aren't going to be able to win that. And then the Texans have one win, and then the Jags also, like I said, they don't have a lot of wins. So they're still going to win the division, but they're probably going to be the 4th seed in the playoffs, and they're most likely going to lose in the first round. Then that brings us to the next game, which was the Chiefs versus Broncos. Chiefs barely snuck that one out. The Broncos kind of made it a game a little bit at the end, but, you know, it's the Broncos. They was not winning that. The Chiefs had that. They pretty much had it wrapped up, but, like, it got a little close at the end, way more than it should have been. Russell Wilson ended up getting hurt, so prayers up to him, but I hope he's all right. As much as I like to joke about him, like, never want to see one get hurt unless the Cowboy Chodo. But anyway, let's get on to the next one, which was the Panthers-Seahawks. Seahawks are slowly declining. They are slowly getting worse and worse. We're seeing Geno Smith is Geno Smith. I mean, he just played way better than he probably should have the whole year, and now he's slowly getting back to who he used to be. I know he still probably played a little all right. I didn't really watch the game a little much. A little my fault. But Panthers won, and that actually made them get a better chance to make the playoffs and win that division. With 5 wins, yes, the Panthers were closer to winning the division because Tampa also lost, which we'll get to in a minute. But the Panthers, if they could rattle off a couple wins and the Bucs keep losing, hey, they can get the 7th seed. Not the 7th, actually. It'll be the 4th seed. My fault. They're actually going to get the home playoff game. So this is actually way bigger than I meant. Like, they're not going to be a 7th. They're going to have a home playoff game. And then they'll get mopped by probably Dallas, but still, they'll get a home playoff game. Speaking of the Bucs, they got absolutely mollywopped by the 49ers. Purdy looked like a god amongst men. He was so good. Nah, he was all right. He was pretty solid. He was the first rookie quarterback to ever beat Tom Brady. Brady was 7-0 before that. Just put that out there. But I mean, the Bucs team is a lot worse. They're not very good. The defense isn't that good. I mean, the Niners offense is really good. They got some weapons. Debo did get hurt, which is going to hurt them. I don't think he's out for the year. I think it should only be a couple games. He should be back by the playoffs, but it will hurt them a little bit. And if they're closer to winning that division because Seattle's losing now. So you never know. I think they're going to have to win that division. They'll probably be the 3rd seed. And then the Bucs still on top of their division with the losing record, just like the NFC East from like 2 or 3 years ago, whenever that was. But they're an awful team. They're not doing anything in the playoffs. And then the final game of the Sunday was the Chargers-Dolphins. The Chargers won. Justin Herbert looked pretty good. Had over 300 yards passing and a touchdown. The Dolphins, though, they're looking rough. Their offense, it seems like teams are figuring out how to defend their offense, playing more press coverage. If they get beat, it's like you're going to let that happen because Tua can't throw the ball that well. You're just going to let him. He's going to underthrow him anyway. So I think they've figured it out, and I think the Dolphins are going to be looking like a rough chance to get the playoffs. They're going to still make it, I believe, but hey, they're going to have to really fight for it now. And for the last game of the week, it was the Cardinals-Patriots. The Patriots pretty much blew the Cardinals out. The Cardinals are a bad team, and they keep showing it. The only thing I can say is Kyler Murray did get hurt. It was a non-contact injury, so it's probably an ACL, but I'm not sure. But he's probably done for the year. The Cardinals are done for the year. And the Patriots are going to make their little push to keep trying to get themselves back into the playoff mix. That's going to do it for Week 14 thoughts and predictions. You know how it go. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment if you like.